It's Rob running with Skinny Trails. Finally got in enough miles on my pack to where I figured it'd be a good time to do a review on it. And I've got the Osprey Atmos AG 65. I'm also going to go over some information on the Aura AG 65, which is the women's version. And they also make a 50-liter pack in both the men and women's. The 65-liter pack at the time of filming was $259.95, and for the 50-liter, $229.95. The 65-liter pack, it's got a load range from 30 to 50 pounds, and the 50-liter pack has a load range 25 to 40 pounds. And you can obviously load it with less than that or more than that. But as far as the comfort and the stability of the pack, you're going to be best if you keep it between the 30 and 50 pound weight limit. The men's comes in 3 colors: Absinthe green, cinnamon bar red, and graphite gray. This one's graphite gray. It's kind of a grayish color with a little bit of a green tint to it. The women's version comes in Rainforest green and silver streak. The foundation of the Osprey Atmos and Aura AG backpack is the Osprey anti-gravity suspension system. When you get it, it says AG in there for anti-gravity. They do have versions out there that are almost identical, except they don't have the anti-gravity system, and they don't have the AG in the name. So if you're looking for the anti-gravity system, which I would recommend, I like it a lot, then make sure it has that AG on it if you're ordering it or purchasing it or just out there trying stuff on. Key things that it provides is really good ventilation, stability, and comfort. The anti-gravity suspension system consists of several components, one of which is the light wire tensioned full peripheral frame to comfortably transfer pack load. And I don't know how well you can see that, but there's a wire right in there, and it runs all the way around the back of the pack here. That's that light wire. And then it's also got the mesh panel on the back, and actually the mesh goes all the way through the harness, down into the back, and then down through the hip belt. So it's one integral material that goes all the way through that. And it provides a lot of ventilation. It's actually between this and the pack itself, there's about an inch and a half, depending on where you're at back there. It's also adjustable. The pack itself comes in 3 sizes, but then it's also adjustable. You can adjust the harness up and down. Right back here between the mesh and the backpack itself, there's a cam, and if you press on it, basically you can move it up and down, and then once it's locked into place, very secure. There's always also a couple lines right in here to make it a little easier when you get this one set. You can set this one at the same and then try it on and see how it fits, but it's very easily adjustable even in the field. And you've also got the fit on the fly hip belt. And so the hip belt, you just pull this Velcro off and you can slide it in or out and then just press it back down. It's very secure. When I first started hiking with this, I put in probably 40 miles with this all the way in, and it was comfortable, but after about 40 miles the belt here was kind of digging into it a little bit more than I wanted it to. And then once I realized I could just pull this out, it gave so much more surface area that it was just incredibly much more comfortable than just having the belt itself. It's also got an adjustable sternum strap, and so you can adjust it obviously this way by this adjustment. And it's got a whistle, and I think all of them pretty much come with that now, but it does have one. And then also it's got, you can adjust this takes a little bit of force, but you can pull this up or down to adjust where you'd like it to sit on your chest, and it'll go, what is that, about 7-8 inches along the strap, so there's quite a bit of adjustment there also. And then you've also got the load lifters on the pack, help pull the weight of the pack a little more to the center of you. The Atmos and the Aura packs, whether they're 65 or 50 liter, they're top loading, and it's also got the top lid. The top lid has a couple compartments. It's got a flat compartment which I keep permits, maps, a couple trash bags, things like that. And then it's got a larger compartment which I usually keep things that I want to have handy, easy access to, like first aid kit, toiletries, and I've also kept auxiliary batteries in there just because it was a nice secure place where I knew where they were, knew they weren't going to get damaged, even though they were a little heavy for having so high in the pack, but it is pretty roomy. But you can also remove the top lid, and so if you want to reduce the weight a little bit and you didn't need those pockets, if you just undo these straps here, you can just take the whole pack off, or the whole lid off, and then you've got this, what they call a flap jacket, which is basically just a little cover, and it's got the secure buckles that hold it down where the lid used to be, so that you can cinch it down over the opening, and so it keeps the water and debris out of the pack fairly effectively. And then it's also got this cord here to keep it secure and closed, and it's got this cord retainer. It's a little different than most I've seen, but it's kind of nice because you can just grab it and open it with one hand. If you do reach down, pull it, and pull it up like that, you can get it even open more. And then there's a compression strap in here, kind of bright red, which I thought was kind of odd, but after using the pack for a while, it is handy because it tends to be easier seen once you're working in the dark and stuff like that. It just kind of stands out. Now I packed it with a pillow. This is not normally my backpacking pillow. I do have another video that talks about the pillow that I use that you might want to check out. It's a smaller inflatable pillow that I like. This one's not it. I just got that to fill up the bag. And it's also got a sleeve where you can slide a water bladder. And it doesn't come with a water bladder, but Osprey makes a couple nice 2-liter and 3-liter hydration reservoir bladders that you can fit in there, and they come with a couple extra components that work well with the pack itself. There's also a clip that you can clip onto that bladder so it doesn't slip down into the pack as you're moving around. And then there's also a hole where this will come out. You slide the hose from the water bladder through, and then you can run it down either side. There's little attachments so you can run it on this side. And it's kind of a stretchy little cord so that you can fit the water bladder hose down through this side or this side. Behind that is also a solid one that's not elastic, which works good if you want to clip anything to it. So it's not going to stretch or wear out. It's a little more durable. I had a bowler battery that I would clip on there so it was out in the sun all day. I wasn't even aware of it most of the time until I needed it. This pack also has a couple front panels, one on each side, and they're fairly roomy. They go along the whole front of the pack, but they're separate from the actual internal compartment, the main compartment, and they're easily accessible on the outside, fairly roomy, but again they're completely separate from the internal compartment. There's also the mesh pocket on the front, and it stretches out pretty good. Seems to be pretty durable. It's got a little bit of adjustability here, and then you can unclip it to get things in and out that are fairly larger. I tend to keep things in there that I want to dry out or want to I'll have easy access to, like if I wash my socks or something like that, I'll put them back here. I've got a pack towel. I'll usually keep rain gear back here because it's easily accessible. It's easy to shove stuff in here because it's stretchy. It tends to hold on to it secure so it doesn't fall out. You've also got several compression straps. The strap that pulls down or holds down the lid, or the flap jacket if you've removed the lid, that provides some compression. It's also got this one on the top here, and it's also got this one on the bottom. It runs here and over this way, and so you can cinch that one down, and these are on both sides. It's also got a couple mesh pockets on each side for carrying water, and it's got a couple ways you can load it. You can load it on the top, or you can load it from the front, and it tends to be a little more accessible when you're wearing the pack with it facing forward like that. And it's got this loop here that makes it kind of nice, because if you're trying to shove this in without that, it's going to be hard to hit that. But it's pretty easy just to grab hold of the loop and shove it in that pocket, and it fits in there nice and secure. It's also got a couple hip belt pockets, one on either side, and they're pretty handy. They're not the roomiest pockets I've ever seen, but they tend to hold quite a few small items that I've got, things that I want, like a compass, energy bar, things like that. It's the only problem that I saw with the pocket. If you open it too far, it's harder to close when you're wearing the pack. So I tend to, when I'm wearing it, I only open it about that much, and it's a little easier to close. If you open it all the way, it binds up and it's almost impossible to close, and it's just a pain. I'll show you that in a minute. Also, on the 65-liter version, you've got these sleeping pad straps. I guess you could strap other things to them. These straps are removable, and again, these are just on the 65-liter version. The straps are not on the 50-liter version. And then it's got a bottom compartment for sleeping bag. You can also fit a bear canister in there if you've got a bear vault, BV500, the larger of the bear vaults. And I think pretty much any of the bear canisters would fit in here. Right now I've got one in the main pack, but it's upright, long ways. It doesn't sit as well sideways, but in here you can actually fit it in sideways, and if that helps things fit in your pack a little better. Also, this divider separates it from the main compartment. The divider itself can be adjustable to where you can move it up and down. You can also adjust it and just remove these completely so that you go all the way into the compartment if you wanted to do that. It's also got dual ice axe or tool loops on either side of the pack. If you were to throw an ice axe in here, you can flip the handle up. It's got these attachments here that you can attach to the handle so that so it's nice and secure, it's not flopping around. And it's got the same type of attachment on the other side. I don't carry an ice axe a lot, so I tend to use it. I might throw some socks in here if I'm drying them, or something else that I just want to secure in place. So these make nice little attachments for the tool or other things. It's also got the stow-on-the-go trekking pole attachments, and I think these are unique to to Osprey. I could be wrong. There may be some out there. If there's not, then they'll probably start adding them to packs. But basically, it's got this loop on the bottom and then a loop here that you can attach to the handle, and then you can pull it tight. And I'll show you that in a minute when it's on. The nice thing about that, it doesn't look like it'd be out of your way here, but when I've got it on, you'll see how it keeps it out of your way. If you don't want to carry, if you don't want to actually use your poles and you want to get them out of the way, you hardly notice them there when it's in that position. Okay, and to show you how some of these features work while it's on, and I also like the attachment of the hip belt, the buckle. The strap fits around the buckle, and then also over here providing more of a mechanical advantage when you pull it tight. Oh, and also it does have a sternum strap that has adjustability here. It's got a whistle, and also you can adjust it up and down the length of the harness here about that much. So it gives a little bit more adjustability. It's also got some load lifters up top. And like I mentioned with the pockets, if you undo them from there, not a problem. Not bad at all. If you open it this far, then it becomes kind of a problem. And you can get it, but it just kind of bugs me. And then also with the poles, the way that they fit on, and it secures them out of the way so you can do whatever you need to do. I tend to in the morning take my breakfast down the trail as I'm starting out, and I can sit there and eat my breakfast while these are out of my way, and then when I'm done with that, I can quickly just remove it and adjust these and use my poles again. And then the water, to put that in, I don't think I could. I mean, I don't know, I might be able to, I guess I could put it in there like that. But I really do like having it where I can just throw it in here, or the same thing on the other side. Okay, hope that helps. Yeah, leave any questions or concerns down below, and please subscribe, tell a friend, and have some fun.